I want to be transparent here this morning and tell you that building this sermon was not without doing it as a comparison to something in the secular world that the secular world is very aware of. And that was a television situation comedy that ran for about 10 or 11 years here on one of our major channels. A program called Modern Family. This was based in Los Angeles, and it surrounded the whole idea and mindset of an older man in the 60s, married to a woman who had immigrated from the country of Colombia. In any sense of the word, a bombshell, a beautiful, curvaceous woman, the ultimate trophy wife for this wealthy business owner. She had brought a young son into the marriage, and later they had a child between them. That man had a daughter, a grown daughter who was married to a man. The daughter was in her own right dysfunctional and nervous and all of that. Her husband was the ultimate good guy, kind of person people liked, that had his own lust issues with his so-called mother-in-law that he displayed from time to time. They had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son, and they all had their various dysfunctional issues. And then there was the son of the father, and as it turns out, he was a gay man who was living with another gay man, and eventually they adopted a daughter from Vietnam, I think. And eventually, 2 or 3 years into the series, they had a wedding and they married, and that was a big deal. And this television series was very popular. One of the top shows for many years. Nominated for, I think, at least 75 Emmys, which is an incredible accomplishment on their part. And almost a third of those nominations resulted in Emmy winners. Very popular. The one thing that stuck in my mind back in 2012, it was during the election that year. Barack Obama was running to win a second term, and his opponent was a Mormon by the name of Mitt Romney. And I'm being honest this morning, as I always am. You never have to wonder what I'm thinking, I'll tell you. And I'll be honest. I have to tell you that I was having some real problems getting my head around the fact that we only had 2 choices. And that one of them was a man that had already proven to me that he could not be trusted to do the right thing in many respects, as far as my belief in the Bible and how God would have culture and society to be. And this new man, essentially, who was a Mormon, and I wasn't the only Christian that had issues with that. There were plenty of Christians that didn't, plenty of them. I would say millions of them that refused to go to the voting polls that year and vote for anyone because they could not bear to vote for a Mormon. So they didn't vote at all. I can tell you I did go, I did vote. But I did so with reluctance. And part of that was not just the fact of the Mormon heritage and the Mormon issues that come with that. And if you're concerned about that, I can talk to you personally about that, my concerns about that religion. But I remember distinctly where I was one day. I was standing there watching TV, and a reporter came up and thrust a microphone in front of Mitt Romney's mouth and said, "What's your favorite TV show?" And with no hesitation, with no thought whatsoever, he said, "Modern Family." I think I'm a pretty good observer of politics. And I won't say I always figure it out or have it ahead of time, but boy, when he said that, alarms and fireworks went off all over the place in my head. I said, first of all, his team had already prepared him. If anybody ever asks you, what's your favorite TV show? It's Modern Family. Why Modern Family? Because very popular, very well liked, and all